Hello everyone, my name is Sini. We are group 3. There are 7 members in our group. We are Jill, Joanne, Bonnie, Celia, Phoenix, Sini, and Summer. We are going to share a movie about India and America, which is called Outsourced. This movie will show you the cultural differences between them. Here is our outline. Our report was separated into 6 parts. The first part is about introducing an outline of this movie. And the second part is about the comparison of workplace culture. The third part is about different behaviors and attitudes in India and America. The next part is about some interesting habits in these two countries. In the fifth part, we will show you the analysis of this movie. And the final part is about what we have learned. Now, let me show you the outline of Outsourced first. The film is mainly about what happens when the main actor went to India alone for work. Some of them were interesting and some were angry, but of course, they cannot escape the influence of cultural differences. From the beginning, the main character is unable to accept the local culture. He has been dispatched from America to India alone. The low wage and awful environment made the actor feel lonely and uncomfortable. However, he met the beautiful Indian woman and everything became wonderful. He was more willing to understand the other's culture because of love, and he finally falls in love with the woman and also the Indian culture. Now, let's welcome Joanne to share about the comparison of workplace culture in these two countries.
Hello everyone, I'm Joanne. I'm going to talk about the workplace culture difference between American and India. My speech is divided into 3 parts. First, work-life system. Second, class consciousness. Third, meeting culture. Okay, now let's talk about the work-life system. In India, maternity leave, if a woman has worked full-time for at least 80 days, she is entitled to paid maternity leave for 26 weeks. Employees can typically expect to receive 10 days of sick leave or casual leave. Vacational time, also referred to as least annual leave, for employees working in a factory for at least 240 days per year. They are entitled to 1 day of leave for every 19 days worked. Holidays. In India, employees are entitled to 3 national holidays. In addition to national holiday, employees are also required to provide 5 to 9 festival holidays. Depending on the state, should an employee be required to work on a public holidays, they must receive double pay. There is no annual leave or special leave system in the United States, and most of them directly give employees paid leave so that employees can take time off to deal with personal affairs. In the United States, such paid leave is called paid time off. Paid leave cover a wide range, can be used for sick leave, personal leave, or travel, allowing to employees to allocate work and vacational time more freely. Women are not guaranteed paid maternity leave, while there is unpaid maternity leave. The Family and Medical Leave Act limited it into maximum of 12 weeks. About class consciousness in America and India. Influenced by the caste system culture, India has obviously hierarchy in the workplace. In title in India, workplaces are very important. The rank of supervisor and the college is different, so be sure to add position after the name. They usually do things according to the guidelines of supervisor, and there's little room for negotiation. In the service industry, the customer is often referred to as the boss. In American companies, they use flag organization. For American, they think boss is just a position title. The way to call your supervisor is that Mr. or Miss plus their last name. Calling your supervisor boss is unprofessional. Let's come to meeting culture part. Debate is a part of Indian culture, so Indians do agree openly in the office if they disagree on something, especially on meeting. Indians quarrel for business, and they always discuss things on a case-by-case basis and will not affect personal friendship. Americans tend to be more accustomed to taking the initiative. They like to express their opinions actively. So, if your colleague or subordinate disagree with you, they will immediately counter against you. This is the end of my speech. Thank you.
Hello everyone, I'm Summer. Thanks for joining give an introduction of workplace differences between America and India. So, why American and Indian attitudes and behavior are so much different, and how do their attitudes affect or influence their behavior? I'm gonna talk about 4 reasons that seek to answer this question. The first reason that we are going to look at is their background. The key point is religion. The second one is social pattern. And the third one is relation. The final one is value. These 4 reasons actually are connected. Alright, the first one is religion. Let's look at this 2 pie chart. In the United States, about 60% of people are Christian. However, there are still 30% of Americans say that they think they don't have a religion. On the contrary, religion is very important in India. 4 worldwide religions were started here. Most Indians will participate in a religious ritual every day. Move on to the next reason, social pattern. The United States is individualism and India is collectivism. Americans are proud of being self-reliant or be able to take care of themselves as well. American children tend to leave the home earlier than in other countries. For example, after graduating from high school, many children move out to go to the college or start working. But in India, the family is an important part that plays a central role in the lives of most Indians. They tend to act the best interest of their family's reputation. And also, their action may impact the perception of the entire family by their community. After making decisions, such as marriage and career, they are generally made in consultation with family. Next is relation. Based on independence, the relation between Americans is not as close as Indians. Moreover, Americans value privacy and their own space. And many Americans like to have alone time and be private about certain topic. While in India, wanting privacy may be seen as a bad thing. Indians are very enthusiastic and kind. They like to share everything with those who are around them. So we can notice that in America, people always say, believe in yourself. But in India, trust is building groups. About value, Americans think of time as limited and linear. People's time is money. And Indians think of time as circular and endless. The other value differences is the intakes of marriage. Well, in an interview, a 13 years American woman said, everyone has a legal right to decide their own relationship. However, in India, India's parents influence the future of their children. They are used for arranged marriages with the caste. Regardless of how one finds a partner, the family is nearly always consulted in the marriage. I also found that social prejudice can affect one's goals. There's a serious prejudice in American and Indian society. In the United States, it's race. In India, it's caste. But because of Americans' capitalism, people are focused on making self-achievement. You can find that most hero movies show the thinking of self-fulfilling. And in recent years, India has developed well. The government had cancelled the caste system, but in fact, education resources are still in small number of groups with high caste. Most Indians are surrounded by people of the same level of caste, so they don't feel that they still encounter caste discrimination. These phenomena do influence their behavior and attitudes. This is all of my part. Next part we welcome Celia.
Hello everyone, I'm Celia. Today I'm going to introduce the habits and customs between American and Indian. There are 4 parts in my presentation today. They are greeting, table manners, toilet culture, and laundry culture. Let's start from greeting. In America, people always shake hands for greeting, and this is also the most common way in the world. And in India, people put hands together like this when they greet each other. Furthermore, the height of the gesture depends on how much respect you have for the other person. Generally for speaking, for elders or distinguished guests, the hand position is about the level with the forehead here. If it's a general, the position can be near the chest here. The next one is table manners. American usually eat with a knife and fork. However, Indians like to eat with the right hands. And in this picture, we can see the male lead use the wrong hand and be corrected by the Indians. To them, the left hand means uncleanness. As for why they want to eat with their hands, there are 2 reasons. The first is that Indians believe that the most of the pressure comes from touch. Knives, forks, and chopsticks prevent these feelings. At the same time, eating with your hands can know the temperature in advance and avoid burning your tongue or mouth. The next one is toilet culture. In America, we can find toilets everywhere, and we think toilet is clean and convenient. However, in India, there are many convenience people on the roadside, like the picture on the right. And these railroad tracks, bridges, and roads are always smells of excrement and urine. Of course, foreigners think Indians are dirty. However, after studying the toilet culture of Indians, we find that the core problem is cleanliness. In many rural or urban villages of India, The toilets in these places are separated from the main building of the house. Some are covered on the roof, and some of them are covered in the corner outside. The toilets are usually built later than in the original structure of the house. Secondly, even with the modern concept of hygiene, people usually insist that the toilet should not be built in the house because it will be disrespectful to the God in the home and not clean. The last one is the laundry culture. Americans is used to doing the laundry at home or taking them to a laundromat. On the other hand, there is a world-famous 1,000-people laundry in Mumbai, India. Basically, most Indians send their clothes to the laundry for washing, which has become a habit. And the reason is that because in many places of India are lack of water, and there may be no rain for several months. Moreover, the Indian labor is cheaper than washing machine. The above is the differences between American and Indian habits. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Jill. My focus will be on field analysis. Today I'd like to talk about how to acquire a second culture in India. There are 4 successive stages of culture acquisition. From no knowledge, culture shock, accept culture, to adaptation. I'm responsible for no knowledge, culture shock, and Bunny will responsible for accept culture and adaptation. Okay, let's get started with the first stage. Todd doesn't prepare anything and has no knowledge about Indian people, culture, and even country. So he didn't undergo the period of excitement and euphoria over the newness of surroundings at the beginning. The second stage is culture shock. Todd feels that there are intrusion of more and more cultural differences into his own images of self and security. In the following part, I will point out there are 6 culture shocks when Todd stayed in India, including transportation, food, accommodation, interaction with Indian, ethnocentrism, and poverty. Let's watch the first clip, transportation.
601 bound Mumbai Chennai Express will leave platform 9 at 6 o'clock.
Hi. You are liking India?
It's interesting.
Yes. Country. No problem. Hey, no problem. You just jump. What? You jump. You must. What? There's no room. Come. Come. You jump. 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 Yeah. Bye.
When Todd was at the station, he had to run to throw his suitcase and jump off the train. On the train, Todd is offered a seat by a boy, but he has to offer the boy to sit on his lap. Todd thinks it is an odd culture. Next is food. Let's watch 2 clips.
I'll take one of those.
एक चाहिए हाँ 100 रुपए no change impossible no change
Oh, that's okay. I'm dying of thirst. Keep the change.
रख लो
Yeah, it's fine.
100 रुपए क्या बात है अभी बनाता हूँ स्पेशल ऐसा बनाता हूँ 100 रुपए का मस्त गोला अभी चल भाग चल अंग्रेज देके आए बीचने के लिए गोला बिला ये लो साहब 100 का स्पेशल है
One rupee.
Not a good time.
1 rupee.
Tomorrow.
Only 1 rupee.
No, I don't have a rupee.
Please, only 1 rupee.
Is that all you can say?
Hungry, only 1 rupee. 1 rupee.
All right.
1 rupee.
Now leave me alone, all right? No, don't touch it. No. Oh. Hey.
Yeah.
Hey.
नीचे don't touch bathroom no problem.
Todd suffered from a cramp when he eats gola from a street vendor. Todd thinks Indian hygiene habits is terrible.
What?
Sir, you should not place the hand that has been in your mouth back in the food. And you should not eat with your left hand. In India, we eat with the right hand. Left hand is considered to be
Dirt.
unclean.
Unclean, yeah.
Why?
Why?
Todd is also surprised when he notes that Indian people have habits to eat by their right hand but not left hand, because left hand is considered to be unclean in India. Next is accommodation. Let's watch the clips.
How far to the hotel?
Your reservation is for the Gharapuri Palace Hotel, but that place is very lonely. I'll take you to Auntie Ji's guest house. She will take care of you better than your own real mother.
No, actually, I think I'd like to just go to my hotel. I'm tired of traveling.
Please,
days.
Mr. Toad, I insist. We go to Auntie Ji's. She has a very good garden, most excellent Indian cook, very hygienic. You'll not be lonely there, I'm telling you.
Okay, fine. I'll check it out. Just make it quick.
You're a schmuck.
Although Todd wants to stay at a reserved hotel, Mura insists Todd living in his own house, because people view doing things for those whom they are close is naturally in India. Next is interaction with Indian. Let's watch the clip.
Other two. What is your salary? Are you married?
No, I'm not married.
You have a girlfriend.
I did, but we broke up a couple months ago.
Why break up? You should be married. Huh?
Well, she wanted to start a family, and I wasn't quite ready yet.
Not yet. Oh my God. You're old enough to be a grandfather. What are you waiting for? Huh?
This part, Todd interact with Auntie G. Todd is asked intimate questions such as, what does your father do? Are you married? Todd thinks that he is invested too much on his privacy. Next is ethnocentrism. Let's watch the clip.
Other two.
I'm Todd Anderson from Western Novelty, and I'm here to help integrate you into our business. Now, I gotta tell you, the center's numbers are nowhere near what they should be. And based on the customer complaints we've been having, it's a culture thing. Basically, you people need to learn about America. Now, it's all about bringing down the NPI. Things go fast.
Ethnocentrism means that we evaluate other culture according to our own standard and customs culture. Todd taught his Indian employees, basically, you people need to learn about America. Actually, he ignores that the facts the workers are native English speakers, just with a different accent. Next is personality. Let's watch the clip.
Ink over the blue, and I want to stay away from the horizontal stripes.
And may I ask you, are you married, miss?
Married? No.
Oh, really? Look, buddy, I assure you, I'm in Chicago.
Yeah, right.
Oh, Lord. Pearl, where have you been? Things are going crazy here. I can't have you wandering off. You're supposed to be coaching these people. Madura's having a nervous breakdown. Man-meat hits on every woman who calls. And where is the glass for this goddamn office?
Very sorry, sir. Very sorry. The glass.
Todd similarly thinks that Indian employees are crazy. They don't know how to work. Therefore, he feels very angry, disappointed, worried that the rest of his life will be in India. This is all my presentation with unknown and culture shock. Thank you. Next, let's welcome Bonnie to talk about how Todd learned to accept the culture and change his negative attitude to a positive one. Thank you.
I'm Bonnie, and today I'm going to introduce about acquire second cultures in the movie Outsources. And my part is introduce the stage 3 accept culture and stage 4 adaptations. So accept cultures in the movie, Todd began to learn accept the culture and his attitude changed from negative to positive. In my opinion, tolerance is another very important concept when learning to respect and accept other cultures. But what is tolerance and why is so important? Generally speaking, tolerance is the recognition of the universal human rights and freedoms of others. It is not a passive content. Tolerance does not equate to indifference or indifference. Instead, it is a freely given acceptance of the differences of others, and it is a recognition of the value of those differences without judgment. In other words, it is a respect of diversity and may believe that it is also very virtual that makes peace possible. And adaptations. Moving into a new country means adjusting to a new culture, and Todd living in a new country that is different from his own and exciting adventure, but at times it can be challenging, frustrating, and even overwhelmed. Regardless of what country you are from or which country you are moving to, it's common to go through a period of cultural adjustments. Everyone will move through this adjustment period at a different rate in their own time. And there are things, however, we can do to shorten the journey and make it a smoother ride. So I'm going to use the video in a movie and to give you examples about accept cultures. And this video is about Holi Festival. Holi Festival is a Hindu festival that celebrates spring, love, and new life. Some families hold religious ceremonies, but for many Holis it's more like a time for fun. And it's a colorful festival with dancing, singing, and throwing powder pans and colored water. Holi is also known as a festival of colors. Holi marks the arrival of spring and the end of winter and usually celebrate in March. So in the video, Todd started running away from the colorful powder and water polo that other people are throwing at him. And he started blending in and having fun when he started singing it as a dirty and polluted in India.
I'm very sorry, Mr. Toad. You should not have worn good clothes on the day of Holi. Holi, what? Just Holi. Celebration of color, changing of seasons. I think we can cross the railing. Don't worry. I have this. I'll protect you. Come with me. Come. Come Mr. Toad, come! Mr. Toad, are you okay? Give me one of those. Here. Oh, that's a good shot. I used to play baseball in college. Like cricket, huh? But very boring game. Give me another. Yeah. Happy Holi! Come, Mr. Toad!
हो गई रंग बिरंगी दुनिया दुनिया हो गई रंग बिरंगी लाई खुशियां संग अपने कर दे दुश्मन को भी संगी
Happy Holi!
And the next one is about adaptations. Instead of getting angry, Todd smiled when the Indian boys surround him and grab his scenes.
Any calls? Need a pen? Take anyone you want. No, not all. It's pretty good. Oh my.
And Todd held a staff meeting and pointed out that he was trying to imitate the operation model of the Indian call centers in the wrong way, and he also asked for opinions to how to improve the working environments of employees. And employees are able to wear casual clothes to work and have a private space.
Our first mistake has been trying to run this like an American office. So I want to ask you, how can we do things differently? What would make your workday a more positive experience? Yes, Sanjeev.
Sir, may I bring in my family pictures for my desk?
Yes, bring pictures of them all. I want to see the whole family. What else? Krishna.
Sir, may I bring murtis for my desk?
Murtis? Absolutely. Whatever those are. Anyone can bring whatever they want to make their space their own, as long as it doesn't get in the way of work. Madhuri.
So, Puro said that we must only wear Western clothes at the Western business.
Wear whatever you want. Yes, what is your good name?
I'm Rani, sir. Sir, would it be possible to get a discount on Western novelty products?
Is there something in particular you were interested in?
Sir, number D100 astrology placemats.
You want those cheesy things? I'm sure we could get you a set for free. Yes.
What about the ceramic basket?
Do you guys want this stuff? You like what Western is selling?
Yeah.
All right, here's what we'll do. I'll call the company and ask them to ship us a collection of the most popular items in the catalog. Whoever improves their MPI the most on a given day can take their pick of the merchandise. All right, great job today, everyone. Thank you. Oh, what's that?
Masala. Rock salt, cumin, chili pepper makes it better. Nice?
Oh, wow. Okay.
You know, when I was young.
And talk to the employee suggestions like the last videos. He tends to he listens to everyone's opinion and keep a cow in the office because cow is the holy cow of Indian, and he add a lot of sugar to coffee. And another adaptation example is about he left his lunch to a laundry workers because the workers are poor. And after he shared leftover with the poor laundry workers, he got a reflections from the people.
Namaste. Namaskar.
And in my opinion, I think we can see in the movie about Todd's attitudes from negative to positive, and it also gives some reflections by his adaptations of the cultures. So this is my part. Thank you.
Thanks, Bonnie and Jill. Let me give you a summary now. Through Joanne's introduction to workplace culture, you will know that every country has its own policy of work-life system. Also, when you work abroad in the future, do not forget to know the class consciousness and meeting culture first. They will be helpful for you and your career. Nevertheless, the behavior and attitudes are also important. Summer says that every single place has its own value, relation, social pattern, and religion. No matter who you are facing, just remember to respect others and give yourself a chance to know other cultures. Finally, habits and customs will change a person. Like the main actor in the movie, if you live in a country for a long time, you will get used to it. The greeting ways, table manners, hygienic environment, and even laundry method. Habits is our second nature. Just give it a try to understand others' customs. Maybe you will love it. At the last minute, I want to let you know what I learned from the movie. First, the world is flat, which means you are close to the world. You can easily get along with foreigners nowadays because of the development of technology. The most important thing is that how you can get used to other cultures. Second, when in Rome, do as the Romans do. Try to make yourself familiar with different cultures. Never say no to others. Finally, every coin has two sides. At first, the main actor was very reluctant to go to India, but afterward, he learned to appreciate the beautiful place and fell in love with India. Do not refuse to give a new environment a try. You may get wonderful memories if you try to understand our cultures with all your heart. This is the end of our report. Thank you for listening.